Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to talk about something that hits many of us close to home, and that is all these disasters that are happening right now on the East Coast, Southeast of the United States. Now, we saw recently Hurricane Helen really come in and damage a lot of property. Several hundred are dead. And, the bottom line is FEMA took over a lot of the responses and recovery efforts. And the point I'm trying to make here is they're controlling the situation. And as a lot of news is coming out, they're not doing a good job with that. They're not able to reach many of the people. They're not able to allocate resources to those specifically, particularly in need. There's a lot of helicopters that are not being used. There's people that are trapped. And, something to think about is, how can we get aid directly to the people? What tools can be done and given to provide aid directly to people rather than donating to a Red Cross or to some organization, Salvation Army, that it's run like a bureaucracy, like a corporation almost. And let's just say you donate, I don't know, $10 to the Red Cross, right? Some of that relief will actually be directly donated to those in need. Maybe it's 10, 20, 30%, but a large amount, 50, 60, 70%, may be going towards administrative things, such as Sue from accounting, Paul from procurement, or Mary from payroll. Point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of people in these operations and there's a lot of administrative burden and overhead. But the thing is this, people are trapped on mountains. People need water. People need helicopters. People need things. They don't need to donate money so that if they go to a certain location, 10 miles down the road, when the roads are blocked off and the roads are eroded away, that then they can have food to eat. That is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous line of thought. People should be able to get aid directly. And what's a better way to send or remit value directly than Bitcoin? Now, I'm not saying give Bitcoin. That's an insensitive thing to say, oh, well, you can just give Bitcoin to those that are, in need. And then obviously they don't have supplies. They don't have things. No, there's a Bitcoin veterans group. And what they're doing is they are a lot of military guys that are not very trustful of the state. And as we've seen, the state has really failed lately on this. And giving Bitcoin to them, it's much better than giving money to or fiat to these big administrative overhead organizations, right? Because here you're going to give it directly to this organization, who's then going to buy the water, buy the fuel for the helicopter, buy the rice, buy what you name it, the blankets, etc., and give it directly. And they're going to give it directly to people. The problem is with these organizations such as the Red Cross or Salvation Army, they do a lot of great things, guys. But the problem with them, and the problem with a lot of these nonprofits, is over time they become like corporations. They become very, they still help people, but there's a lot of people that are trying to get their take of the pie, right? And there's a lot of rent seekers, to say the least. And we need to try to aim for a future where there's not a lot of rent seekers. Rather, we need to aim for a future where we can give directly to others. Or if we're going to give to an organization, that money flows directly and it's transparent on how it's spent. And the Bitcoin blockchain does a good job of showing that, hey, this is the address that the funds were sent to. And you can just go on the Block Explorer and see, okay, it was sent to these 10 different groups, or these 10, maybe it was sent to the grocery store or here or there. You can see how the funds flowed. But you can't see how the funds flow with fiat. You can send the money and they'll say they'll do it. Maybe they'll write a check, they'll hold a check up. But you don't know how the funds actually flow, like specifically, where you can with Bitcoin. Now, because of this, Bitcoin cannot be stopped. Everything on chain, it can be verified. Fiat is the opposite. Sending value directly to people is what we need. Geyser Fund has raised several million Satoshis right now. I think they're approaching 4 million. And, the Bitcoin veterans, I think they're going to keep working to help the people. I think beyond the Bitcoin veterans, there's a lot of regular people that are up in the mountains that are working to help others. They're not on some payroll. They're not some corporate bureaucracy. They're not, they don't have like any hidden incentive. That's the coolest thing about all this is there's no agenda with these people. They just want to help. They want to provide water. They want to go give water to the people that are stuck in the mountain, and they're not. And then the bureaucrats are saying, no, you can't do that, right? So the point I'm trying to make is find ways. If you're going to give fiat, don't give fiat to these big orgs. Give it directly to people that you believe will help others, right? Because that's better. There's less steps, number one. There's less bureaucracy and overhead and administrative burden, number two. And number three, you are able to track it, right? You're able to follow through with them, or you're able to follow through on the Bitcoin blockchain to see where things actually go. And that's what I'm trying to say here. Now, guys, it's crazy. Something to think about is we need to be there for each other. We need to love our neighbor. We need to help others. Hurricane Milton is coming, and it's coming soon, and we need to stay on standby. I think all of us should be on standby because we've seen FEMA, we've seen these other organizations and what they do, and it's not great. Yes, there is some help given, of course, but generally speaking, we need to find a way to break down the systems that have been corrupted and co-opted, and that there's high-paid directors and VPs that don't look out for our interests or humanity's interests, saving lives. So with Hurricane Milton, be on standby, but be sure to get ready, send value to where it's needed directly. And lesson in all of this, guys, is we need a money that is sovereign, that individuals can send without permission. Because there could come a day if you're literally in North Carolina and you're trying to enter a zone to help someone, and they say, no, you physically can't get in here. And okay, they physically block you. But there could come a day where they actually end up blocking your bank account transactions from hitting the people, right? That we saw that with Give, Send, Go. We saw that with GoFundMe in 2021 with the truckers. That can happen. Bitcoin, you cannot block a Bitcoin transaction. It's uncensorable. And it's permissionless. And it's something that I think will break down in the future these antiquated systems that can be controlled and captured by the bureaucracy. The lesson in all of this is we need a money that is self-sovereign, that individuals can send without permission. It's needed. It is absolutely needed because in the end, people are, by human nature, these corporates, these bureaucrats, they'll stop things if they can, and we cannot have that. So guys, look at the truck drivers in 2021 as an example, and just remember that the state may try to control things in the future, and we must use censorship-resistant money to send value. Anyways, guys, buy Bitcoin. Click the links below if you like any of them. And again, I love all the support you guys have given me. I love all the, I love this podcast. I really do. And I will keep posting as much as I can. Let's pray for those impacted by the disasters. Let's send value, and let's take the high road. Let's be high road leaders. Anyways, guys, you have a good one.